This is a training week in review. I'm going to analyze my training from last Thursday up until today, which is the next Thursday, in the lead up to today's training and the following week's training. Last Thursday, I did a heavy SBD day, starting off with squats at 242.5 kilos, where I did 3 reps, 5 reps, 7 reps, 9 reps, 7 reps, 5 reps, 3 reps, which is a lot of volume. A lot of reps at that weight. All went pretty smoothly, all went well. That is in preparation for some crazy training that I'm doing today and the next week, which is heavy, high rep work. The goal for today is to do 255 for 10, and we'll see how that goes. Feeling pretty positive. Then after that squat, I did a bench double at 185. I'm thinking for today, probably a 190 double should be possible, depending on how I'm feeling. Of course, I'm going to listen to my body, but I'm going to be lifting on better equipment than I was last week. And then on deadlift, I did a 300 kilo triple last week. And then today, I'm hoping if I feel good and it feels like it's there, I'll try for a 315 triple. But this is only a week 3, so I'm not, that feels like an overextension, I'm not going to go that heavy. But I'm hoping that'll feel like if I'm feeling good, that'll be there pretty confidently. That's a wrap for Thursdays. Then my next training day was a Friday. Last week I only did bench, which was a 4x10 with 150 kilos. That went really smoothly. That gave me a lot of confidence on bench on a lift that right now, due to a little bit of neck stiffness, hasn't been feeling the most confident. This coming Friday, tomorrow, I'm going to do that 4x10 again as well, which is just a standard session for me. But last week it was the only session for which I didn't do SBD. And so this week or tomorrow, I'm going to introduce a simple squat day of just a 255 kilo paused single with a 2x2 back down at a lighter weight, which I'll self-decide after how the single goes. And then a deadlift is just light touch and go. So it's my lightest deadlift session of the week. So it'll be below 230, and I'll also self-regulate that. This 3x8 needs to be very simple and needs to go essentially off of how I'm feeling. Just that it's light and it's focused on being positionally effective. Then that's a wrap for that Friday session. Saturdays, last week I did on squats, a 3x7, 230, no belt, no sleeves. That went pretty solid, in all honesty. My plan for this week was to move that up to 240 and do it without knee sleeves or belt again. I'm actually thinking about doing it with the belt and with the knee sleeves, simply because of just that plan was originally based on not squatting 6 days a week, and just to give myself more durability, just to do the session with 240 this week on Saturday, but then with a belt and with sleeves, and it should just go way smoother. And yeah, that's that. On bench, on Saturday I did pin bench. That went horribly. This week I'm going to try something similar, but then with a block, which is where someone holds a piece of wood between your chest and the bar while you're benching. And then on deadlift I did a 320 triple. I think this week I'm more looking towards the lines of a 300, 310, somewhere in that range, paused triple, as I want that session to almost be a primer session or a pre-session for the Sunday session, which is 4 sets of pause triple. Yeah, I'll get into that now. So that's a wrap for Saturday. So Sunday, I did a very easy squat, 3x5 at 210, went super easy, super smooth. I'm going to keep that at 3x5 at 210 because that's supposed to be just a solid functionary, just going through the motions, technical practice, and just getting the bar on your back and squatting. On bench press, I did 175 for a set of 4, and then I did 170 for 3 sets of 4. I'm going to keep that there as well, just have it be a very similar session, just a standard session, the same way as my 150 4x10 on the Friday, just to keep that exposures in. It gives me good exposure work at 170, which should be, if all goes well, my last warm-up at my next comp. And then the deadlift was 2x8, not 2x8, what am I doing? It was 280 for 4 sets of 3 paused. This week I'm gonna move that up to 290. It went really well, really confident, and that's a strength builder for me. And so that's big. Looking forward to that. Curious to see how that'll go, just with deadlifting so and such high frequency. If I can still have just a casual strength builder day at 290. I'm looking to potentially push that all the way up to 300, so I hope that it goes well. I think it should. That's a wrap for Sunday. And then on to Monday, I did a much more fun squat day, which was 250 pause, or what I call hesitation squats, for 6 sets of 3. That went pretty smooth. I stayed a low level of sort of stimulus, so I wasn't listening to aggressive music and I wasn't getting too focused. I woke up kind of tired, and so I just kind of went through the motions. I'd originally been planning only to do 4 sets of 3, but it just felt kind of okay, and I wasn't pushing or overextending to do the sets. So I just did my normal 6x3 that I would have done before I transitioned to 6 SBD days a week, and it just went fine. After the 6x3 on squats, I did a 195 bench single. After a 185 bench single, that went okay. I think it could have gone better, but just with not trusting myself as much on bench lately due to the stiff neck, not having a good Saturday bench session with a pin bench, just went weird due to the pins, and just I felt less confident holding those weights in my hands as a result, the 195 range. And so I think that this week, especially because I'm on better equipment that I also trust more, I'll be on a Hunzi rack, that it should go a lot nicer in that range. And so I'll see, I'll take it by ear, but I'm thinking somewhere in that range or a little bit more might be possible for next week. But I'm not disappointed if 195 moves kind of okay on a bad day on equipment that's suboptimal. Then on the deadlift, I did a super simple and easy 230 by 3x5 on Monday. No issues, just technique work with mixed grip. So that's a wrap for Monday. Tuesday, super simple 210 3x6 on squats. Super solid session, in all honesty. I was back at a more public gym, and so I think I just simply trusted myself to be more aggressive in the squat, and it felt effortless. Felt like there wasn't even weight on my back. It was boom. Meanwhile, I have 210, 463 on my back. Felt fantastic. Then the bench was 4x7 with 160 kilos, 352 pounds. Also very solid session. I wasn't really focused. Similar, I'm trying to keep sort of stimulus or sort of hype down for now a little bit until I get in my rhythm, to sort of see that I'm not having to force my emotions to allow me to do the 6 days SBD, that it sort of can happen also at a more calm level, just a more neutral sort of rhythm, rather than having to force the sessions. And the 4x7 at 160 went smooth, went easy, and because of being on better equipment, it went better than it would have gone at home had I been hyping myself up. So that gave me a lot of confidence. And then the last deadlift was the 3x3 at 250, and that went super easy. It's crazy that 250 is barely even a weight I feel in my hands anymore. I had a little bit of hand pain just from gripping. I think just due to, the session the day before and whatnot. But the fact that it is that I didn't even feel the weight in my hands. So I'm feeling confident moving into this next week. All of those sessions, all of those weights for the Tuesday session are going to remain the same. The Tuesday session won't move. So 210 on squat, 160 on bench, and 250 on deadlift. That'll remain consistent as I progress in the coming weeks. And so that's just a solid standard day, which might even be like a check the temperature day with how I'm feeling after a week of training, how I've handled the fatigue, which should be interesting to learn, could be potentially very interesting to learn from, is if 1 week I'm just not feeling it on that day, that means that I didn't recover from the week of training as well as I should have during the week. And that also potentially that I'm carrying over too much fatigue to that session before the Wednesday rest day and the Thursday heavy training. So it's just about learning from that and being able to modulate my fatigue better going into that heavy Thursday. So it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to this next week a lot. And yeah, it's just about just keep moving forward and learning, because this is the first time I've ever done training like this, and I'm excited. That been meeting these 6 days a week SBD is the first time I've done that. Yeah, that's a wrap, I guess. And you'll see how my training today goes. And then, yeah, okay.